What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Jake Shavink here, and the Packers made a much-needed move to bolster the linebacker room, selecting Texas A&M's Edgerrin Cooper in the second round of the NFL Draft. And today, we're going to break down the film, take a look at what Cooper does well, what needs to improve, and where he fits best in the Packers defense. So Edgerrin Cooper, real quick, 6'2 and an eighth, 230, 34-inch arm length. That should be beneficial for him at the next level. A 9.13 RAS. We've seen the athleticism for sure. Right, a 97th percentile 40 and 95th percentile 10-yard split. And in 2023, he really broke out as a player. 27 pressures, 8 sacks, 17 tackles for loss, 58 total tackles, 2 pass breakups, and 2 forced fumbles. So now let's take a look at the film room to see what Edgerrin Cooper brings to the Green Bay Packers. All right, guys, here we go into the film room, taking a look at Edgerrin Cooper. And I think the first thing that you notice with Cooper is how well he can play the run game and how well he can flow to the football when kept clean and really limit the damage on a lot of run plays. And here against Tennessee, just, again, good process, get into the right gap, and make a tackle. He can really make things that simple in the run game. Here, again, it's just a good job of attacking downhill quickly, recognizing what's coming, basically beating the offensive lineman to a spot where offensive line thinks he's going to be able to get to him at the second level really cleanly, and Cooper just, again, with processing, with the athleticism, and with the finishing ability as a tackler, just continues to make plays in the run game. And really where his processing skill set can shine at times is when the read option comes up. It happened a lot in the SEC. Cooper does a nice job recognizing it, closing speed, tackling ability to limit a potential big run there from Jalen Milroe. Similar thing here where, again, it's just he recognizes the run. He's getting himself into a great position here, free of any offensive lineman to make a play. And he is just a really shown to be dominant player downhill against the run. Maybe why he's projected right now to be the middle linebacker, the Mike linebacker in Green Bay. Here was just basically him sinking into a spy look and just recognizes quickly that it's a run. Look at him change directions in an instant, fly downhill and make a play. Now, there are times where he gets contacted in the run game, and I was pleasantly surprised in the second go-around with how well he did. Here, staves off a block from the offensive lineman at the second level, keeps himself clean, and again, makes a play against the run. Here against LSU, it's a similar thing where he's just, again, keeping himself clean, flow to the football, and limit the damage in the run game, which I think he does at a high level. And here it continues, right? Get into a good position, make it difficult for the offensive lineman, but also be able to dip around the block, with that flexibility and be in position to make a play. Similar thing here where I'm impressed with how well he can stand his ground and leverage and play with good power and flexibility. It just almost set an edge there against an offensive lineman. This is the creme de la creme with a player like Cooper who has just impressive speed, burst, but can play on this sort of curvilinear track as well, where he can just dip under this offensive lineman, close with impressive speed, and a tackle for loss right there against Tennessee. Same thing, right? Understand it's a run. Just basically beat the offensive lineman to a spot, get downhill in a hurry, attack, change direction, and then limit their gain in the run game. And once again, it's just, can he be disruptive as well? It doesn't always have to be clean, right? Getting off a block cleanly, but can you just be disruptive? Split the double team, trip up the running back, and he's done his job there. This is really impressive against Ole Miss. Can you deconstruct a block from an offensive lineman? Yes. And he does, again, good timing, good placement with the hands, quick hands, dips underneath as well, and then is in position to make a play. He can do it against tight ends too. Very easy for him. No problem there. That was extremely quick on his part. And then also this run, it's not going to get to his gap, but he does a phenomenal job dipping underneath this block from the offensive lineman. Again, run's going to go this direction to Cooper's right, but he just does a nice job. That little subtle move to dip underneath the block and be in position to make a play. Same thing here against tight end. He does a really nice job of. You see edge rushers sit and leverage, to the outside, set a strong edge. Cooper does it here at the second level. Holds his ground against the tight end, forces this run back inside. Just didn't get a lot of help there with the would-be tacklers and help from his teammates turning that run back inside. Now, as a quarterback spy, does a tremendous job right? You had to be able to do this in the SEC. Milroe, Milton, Daniels, etc., being able to scramble and make plays. You had to have this guy keeping tabs on everybody. And Cooper did a tremendous job doing so. This is a really good one where Milroe instantly recognizes a running lane, and he's got that outlet, and Cooper closes this so quickly. Just a tremendous play here by Cooper to turn Milroe back inside where he has help from his teammates to limit, again, a big run possibility there. Against Daniels, same thing, where Daniels trying to escape the pocket. Cooper has that speed to keep with him and basically force an incompletion there. Now, as a blitzer, he obviously provides value as well with that speed. Here, does a really nice job dipping around the offensive lineman. If the other one wasn't in the way, you have a pressure and a hit on Milroe there. And then they sent him on this one too against Bama in this game, where Milroe does not see him coming at all, close it in a hurry, and one of his 3 sacks in the game. Now, I think here shows you that this is something Green Bay might deploy. Twice against Mississippi, you saw this where they're sending him on a delayed blitz, right? He sits and then he attacks. It forces the quarterback to drop his eyes for an instant, and that is really all that the defense needs. Once the quarterback drops his eyes like that, the play is likely over. Here is something that you'll probably also see from the Hafley defense at times, where slant, get the offensive lineman going one direction in protection, and you're going to have Cooper loop around, and he's going to have an opportunity here, and once again, a sack. How about the sideline to sideline range? He flashes it at times. He doesn't get a lot of opportunities to do so, but here in the screen game, really nice job closing on Brian Thomas Jr. there. Here he initially engaged with an offensive lineman, gets off that block quickly, and then shows off again the range to go and basically hunt down guys on the perimeter. Now, in coverage, there are some good things to look at. Like, I think in this rep, he does a good job getting his eyes on the 3 receiver set quickly, understanding, okay, I need to sync, to X amount of depth to muck up the throwing lanes. And he does a nice job there. Same thing here where this linebacker is going to have the running back on the swing route. Cooper recognizes it, says, okay, I got to carry this guy up the seam, no problem. And when you have that athleticism combined with the understanding of where you need to be in coverage, it's going to be a dangerous duo at the next level, that processing and coverage ability. And once again, carry a guy up the seam, it's no problem for Cooper there at all. So how about the wheel route here against LSU? Same thing. Can he handle that type of coverage? It's easy for him with the amount of speed that he has. Tight end, same thing. Can he match up with them? Even if he gets out of position a little bit like he does here against Tennessee, he has the requisite, speed to recover in those situations. And he can be physical with tight ends at the top of routes, disrupt the stem like he does here on a couple of reps against Alabama. So you've seen a lot of that. Where are the improvements that can be made? I think the first one here is Cooper just needs to do a little better job of kind of getting into the right spot to leverage, because if he can get himself into position about a yard or two outside of the tight end here, he's able to turn this run back inside to where he's got help, and you've limited a big gain, which is kind of what happens here. I think there are times in coverage where you see him take a couple chances. Here is one of them where just tries to undercut a route. Sometimes just really isn't going to fly the next level. You have to be tactical at when you're going to take chances and when you are not. I think this is a really good example of play action kind of, getting the best of him a little bit, where now it's all right. You need to turn and run to get into this, middle of the field area, and instead of pedaling, to limit plays in play action game. I think that's going to be the biggest thing for him is getting used to play action being a big part of what he's playing against. And again, spot drop coverage. It's tough to nitpicking maybe a little bit, but it's always in spot drop. It's nice to be able to find somebody in coverage rather than just kind of sitting in your zone. And I think against the run, there are a few times where there are missed tackles, and that's going to happen, right? I think he did a pretty good job overall at Texas A&M limiting these missed tackles, but they do pop up every now and again. And even this one where you qualified as a missed tackle, where it's just kind of like he does a nice job, though, holding his ground, sitting leverage, get off a block. It's just finished that one to really complete what would have been a tremendous play. So Edgerrin Cooper, what do you see from him? I think you're pleasantly surprised with how well he can get off blocks and get around blocks, make plays in the run game, keep himself clean, knows when to attack, good processing speed there. And I think he, has some work to do in terms of coverage instincts, but I could see why Green Bay maybe thinks Edgerrin Cooper could be the Mike linebacker for our defense and Quay Walker could play off the ball. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video on Edgerrin Cooper. If you did, throw a like down there. Subscribe if you're new. Plenty more Packers draft pick film room content on the way very, very soon. I will catch you guys in the next video. Farewell.